Alrighty, well, today I'm talking about my ideal arm day. I guess this video is going to be the second in the kind of ideal workout series, but the first video I did was chest and shoulders. Today I want to talk about arms. So, obviously, biceps, triceps, nothing too complex, but generally, like I said in the previous video, I believe that fitness should be a balance where you have your goals and you have what you enjoy. And your workout plan, your approach to fitness should be somewhere in the middle. But won't waste any more time talking about that. We're here to talk about arms today, and let's get right into my personal workout and what I believe is a balance between what I like and what's best for me. Now, starting out with biceps here, the first movement that I'm doing is a preacher curl. The reason I'm doing this one is it's obviously a movement with your elbows in front of your body where you're contracting your biceps. This is done to stimulate especially the short head or inner part of the bicep. You have the short head on the inside part, you have the long head on the outside. The short head is going to be stimulated more by having the elbows in front of the body where you curl, whereas the long head of the bicep, the outer part, elbows behind the trunk of your body. Very important to stimulate that one. But this movement overall is really good in terms of range of motion, the stretch at the bottom on the bicep, very good support on the triceps throughout the rep to really be able to feel that tension on the biceps. Next up, we have an incline curl. This one I'm doing here on an incline bench with dumbbells. Now, the incline curl is really good for developing that outer half, the long head of the bicep, like we talked about a second ago. Again, elbows behind the body is really going to target that. Doing these on an incline bench allows you to kind of puff your chest out and have your arms hang back. You're going to get a really good stretch in the biceps, really good range of motion on that lift. Curling the dumbbells with the factor of supination, where you're trying to kind of curl your pinky up to your shoulder, you're really going to feel that kind of light up that outer part of the bicep. Now, for the last movement I do for biceps, we have hammer curls. There's a lot of variations. My favorite is going to be the rope hammer curl with cables. Now, this movement is intended to target the brachialis, which is kind of between the bicep and tricep in the upper arm. Very important muscle to develop. Additionally, it's going to target the brachioradialis, which is in the upper arm, more closer to the forearm. Anyway, this exercise, again, very good tension because it's done with cables. Taking a step back like I do here helps really accentuate that as well. The reason this targets the brachialis is because we're using a neutral grip with our palms facing each other rather than a supinated grip with your palms up or a pronated grip with your palms facing down. Alrighty, moving on to triceps. The first movement I like to do is an overhead movement. Of course, you can change up the order in which you do each movement, but for this one, I am using a skull crusher machine. These are extremely effective. Now, this doesn't have to be done with a machine. You can use dumbbells, you can use a barbell, you can even use cables and do rope extensions overhead or W bar, any sort of attachment of your choice. Overhead movements for the tricep, tri meaning three, is divided into three different parts. You have your lateral head, which is kind of sticking out the horseshoe here. You have the medial head, which is closer to the midpoint of the body. Then you have the long head of the tricep, which you can see on the bottom part here when you do a front double bi. The long head especially, that one is stimulated with overhead movements. So it's also a very good movement to throw in, considering overhead movements are traditionally considered the best in terms of mass building for the triceps as a whole. Next, I always throw in some sort of tricep extension. This one I'm doing a machine as well, but again, you can do it with cables. You can do a tricep push down, either with a rope, straight bar, something of your choice. Generally, these are going to target the lateral head of the tricep, which is the horseshoe that I talked about before that sticks out. With the triceps, you can't exactly isolate any of the three heads, but you can definitely bias, one versus the other. But lateral head, like I said, this movement provides a really solid range of motion for the triceps, really sticking your elbows out and allowing your wrists to come up towards your shoulder to really feel that stretch in the tricep is very important for maximizing that range of motion. But overall, it is a really solid movement, one that I always include in my tricep routine. And honestly, tricep extensions are probably my favorite out of any sort of tricep movement there is to offer. Finally, for triceps, we have the reverse grip push down. Now, if I could describe these in one word, it would be underappreciated. I've spent a lot of time in the gym. I can't say with confidence I've seen many other people do this movement. Usually I like to set this movement up with a straight bar on the cables, and the only difference, as opposed to a regular tricep pushdown, would be the fact that your palms are now facing up instead of facing down. This is supposed to engage the medial head of the tricep more, which a lot of people kind of neglect in terms of their training. I remember personally implementing these into my routine when I saw that Jay Cutler was a big fan of them, so might as well give it a shot if you haven't tried it yet. That concludes my routine in terms of arm training. Whether you're somebody that likes to do arms on a dedicated day like myself, or maybe you're on a push-pull legs type of split where you do them on other days, you can definitely benefit from incorporating some of these exercises from this video. The main point is that I believe the best split is the one that works for you, and that's the same ideology I take when it comes to training and when it comes to training my clients. I think that you should have something that you enjoy that's also very good for your goals. For me, this exercise selection, this style of routine, not only something that I really like that I've been doing for a couple of years now, but it's something that has worked in terms of my goals to achieve a more muscular physique. So if you enjoyed this video, please let me know in terms of feedback in the comments. If you want anything more in the future like this, I definitely plan to make one for legs next, and then back training as well, which is my personal favorite, but we'll see when we get there. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you in the next one.